For decades, we trusted that balance faded with age, and falls were just a part of getting older. But hidden in the routines of past generations are simple, forgotten foot exercises, moves our bodies once relied on daily, that science now links to a dramatic drop in fall injuries after 60. Today, 1 in 4 older adults will fall each year, causing over 95% of hip fractures. Yet almost no one talks about the foundational strength quietly built by barefoot games and everyday chores. Are we risking our independence simply because we left these habits behind? The Forgotten Foot Exercises that prevent falls after 60 uncovers what changed and what you can still reclaim, starting with a single step you might not remember. Soft shoes, plush carpets, and hours spent sitting. These comforts shape daily life for most adults over 60. Yet beneath the surface, a quieter change is underway. The muscles and nerves in the feet, once challenged by uneven ground and constant motion, now spend much of the day idle. Modern flooring, designed for safety and ease, removes the small obstacles that used to keep our balance sharp. Cushioned sneakers, first popularized in the 1970s, cradle every step. But they also shield the foot from the subtle pressures and textures that train stability. For many, even a short walk outdoors is replaced by errands in the car or time at the computer. The result is less obvious than a limp or a sore joint. Over years, the foot's more than 100 muscles, tendons, and ligaments lose their natural spring. The big toe, a key anchor for balance, grows weaker with disuse. Sensory nerves in the sole become less responsive, making it harder to sense changes in the ground or react quickly to a slip. By age 65, more than 1 in 4 adults will experience a fall each year. The consequences can be severe. Over 95% of hip fractures in older adults are caused by a simple fall, and a single incident often doubles the risk of falling again. Epidemiologists track these numbers with growing concern. Muscle mass declines by about 2% each year after 50. But the loss is sharper in the feet and ankles for those who spend most of the day sitting or wearing supportive shoes. Studies using toe grip dynamometry, a measure of big toe strength, show that a drop below 10 kilograms nearly doubles fall risk. Plantar pressure mapping reveals that older adults who avoid barefoot movement develop flatter arches and slower heel-to-toe transitions, both linked to instability. In some nursing home audits, more than half of residents who fell had measurable weakness or reduced sensation in their feet. Yet these changes rarely draw attention until a stumble or a fracture brings them to light. Most people don't realize that the foundation of their balance has quietly eroded, not from disease, but from years of engineered comfort and convenience. The very tools designed to keep us safe and pain-free may have left our feet unprepared for life's small surprises. As daily routines shifted indoors and footwear grew more protective, the natural challenges that once maintained foot strength faded away. The risk isn't just theoretical. It's written in the medical charts and fall reports of millions of older adults each year. For many, the warning signs are subtle: a missed step, a wobble reaching for a shelf, or a growing fear of walking on uneven ground. These moments are not just accidents of age, but signals from a body that's lost touch with its roots. The question is not whether balance can be restored, but whether we are willing to remember and reclaim the simple habits that kept our feet and our independence strong for generations. In the years before television remotes and microwave dinners, strength and balance were woven into the fabric of daily life. Children dashed barefoot across gravel driveways, their toes gripping each stone, learning to steady themselves with every unpredictable step. On summer afternoons, hopscotch games and jump rope contests filled neighborhood sidewalks. Each leap a lesson in coordination, every stumble an invitation to try again. In schoolyards, Physical education classes included balance beams, skipping relays, and heel-to-toe lines painted in faded white. Teachers called out instructions for tiptoe walks and single-leg stands, routines so ordinary they barely registered as exercise. At home, resilience was built without a second thought. Housewives crouched to scrub floors, rising and lowering onto the balls of their feet dozens of times before breakfast. Factory workers and shopkeepers stood for hours, shifting weight from foot to foot, adjusting to the hard floors beneath them. Stairs were climbed, gardens weeded, and groceries carried home by hand. Each task a quiet rehearsal for balance and stability. Even the simplest chores, hanging laundry, reaching for jars on high shelves, kneeling to tie a child's shoe, activated the muscles that now so often go quiet. Stories from elders echo these patterns. One recalls her grandmother sweeping the porch barefoot every morning, the bristles tickling her soles as she worked. Another describes the feeling of cold grass underfoot while gathering tomatoes at dawn, toes flexing with every careful step to avoid a hidden stone. These memories are not just nostalgia. They are blueprints for strength that lasted well into old age. In rural Japan, seniors who continued to garden and walk barefoot on soft earth reported fewer falls and steadier gaits than their city-dwelling peers, a finding now mirrored by Blue Zone's research around the world. Physical education reformers of the past, like Dr. Anna Bjurström, championed natural movement and balance training, urging children to run, skip, and climb without the barrier of shoes. Their advice faded as athletic shoe companies shifted the focus to comfort and injury prevention, but the habits lingered in the routines of ordinary people. For most, balance was not a skill to be learned in a class or a gym. It was a byproduct of living in a world that demanded constant adaptation. Today, these everyday movements have all but vanished from modern routines. Yet the evidence remains. Strength and stability were once built not through special programs, but through the ordinary acts of walking, playing, and working. The foundation for lifelong balance was laid in bare feet, on uneven ground, through chores and games that required no instruction manual. Rediscovering these habits is less about learning something new and more about remembering what was once second nature. Toe grabs, sometimes called towel scrunches, draw from the days when bare feet did the work of gripping gravel, curling around roots, or anchoring on slick kitchen tiles. The movement is simple. Place a small towel on the floor, sit in a sturdy chair, and use your toes to gather the towel toward you, bunch by bunch. Each repetition wakes up the flexor digitorum brevis and the lumbricals, muscles that form the arch's hidden scaffolding. In electromyography studies, these small muscles fire with every curl, helping to restore the natural dome of the foot. For those who struggle to sense the ground or feel their toes, even a few slow scrunches can sharpen awareness and bring warmth back to neglected nerves. Next, heel raises. This exercise, rooted in the daily acts of reaching for a high shelf or balancing on tiptoes to hang laundry, targets the gastrocnemius and soleus, the calf's power pair. Stand behind a sturdy chair, fingers lightly touching for balance. Rise slowly onto the balls of your feet, pause, then lower with control. Each lift strengthens the muscles that propel every step and stabilize the ankle joint. Ultrasound studies show that regular practice thickens the Achilles tendon and improves ankle stiffness, both essential for steady walking and quick reactions. For those with less mobility, seated heel raises offer a safe alternative, gently activating the same muscle groups. The third movement, ankle circles, brings back the range of motion lost to years of sitting or stiff shoes. While seated, lift one foot off the ground and trace slow, deliberate circles in the air, 10 in each direction. This motion mobilizes the tibialis anterior, peroneals, and the deep stabilizers that control side-to-side sway. Ankle circles encourage synovial fluid to coat the joint, easing stiffness and improving flexibility. Clinical trials in older adults link better ankle mobility to longer stride length and fewer stumbles, especially on uneven surfaces. Those with joint pain or swelling can start with smaller circles, gradually expanding as comfort allows. Safety remains the foundation. Always use a sturdy chair or countertop for support, especially when standing. For anyone with neuropathy, severe arthritis, or recent foot injuries, these movements should be adapted or performed under professional guidance. Begin with 5 to 10 repetitions, pausing if pain or numbness develops. Progress comes from consistency, not speed. Let each movement be slow and intentional, focusing on sensation and control. These 3 exercises form the groundwork for balance, awakening muscles long at rest and restoring the quiet confidence that comes from a stable step. Balancing on one foot, once a casual act while slipping on a shoe or reaching for a coat, now challenges muscles and nerves that have grown quiet with age. Stand near a sturdy countertop or chair, fingertips lightly resting for reassurance. Shift your weight to one foot and lift the other just an inch or 2 from the floor. Even this small change wakes up hundreds of sensory nerves in the soul, forcing the brain to map the body's position in space. The first seconds may feel unsteady, a gentle wobble, a quick tap for balance, but each attempt strengthens the stabilizers that keep the body upright in daily life. For those who find this difficult, begin by holding on with both hands, or simply shifting weight from side to side. Gradually, confidence grows, and the supporting hand becomes less essential. Barefoot marching, another forgotten ritual, brings the ground's subtle messages back to the nervous system. On a soft carpet or grassy patch, lift one knee, then the other, marching in place for half a minute. The feet press and release, toes spread, and arches spring to life with each step. This rhythm increases circulation and sharpens the sense of touch in the soles, both dulled by years of shoes and smooth floors. For those unable to stand safely, seated marching, lifting one knee at a time, still activates the same pathways. The key is to move with intent, feeling the ground beneath each foot, letting the body relearn textures and pressure shifts that once came naturally. Some elders find comfort in a simple foot massage before or after these exercises. Rolling a tennis ball or smooth stone under the arch can ease tension, stimulate blood flow, and reawaken nerves that have grown less responsive. In rural communities, this was once a daily habit, an instinctive way to soothe tired feet and keep them supple. Safety remains the anchor for every practice. Always begin near a stable support, especially when testing balance or marching without shoes. Those with neuropathy, fragile bones, or recent injuries should consult a healthcare provider and adapt the movements as needed, using shoes, seated positions, or extra support. Even brief sessions performed daily can restore agility and confidence. The goal is not perfection, but progress. A steadier step, a quicker recovery from a stumble, a renewed sense of control. These simple moves, drawn from the rhythms of ordinary life, offer a path back to balance. One step, one foot, one day at a time. Over 100 muscles, tendons, and ligaments form the living architecture of the foot. Each step activates a complex network, tiny stabilizers in the arch, larger engines in the calf, and a web of sensory nerves beneath the skin. These receptors, known as mechanoreceptors, send rapid-fire signals to the brain, mapping every pebble, slope, or shift in the ground. When foot muscles lose strength or sensation fades, balance becomes guesswork instead of reflex. Laboratory studies using electromyography reveal that towel scrunches and heel raises reactivate dormant fibers in the arch and calf, restoring the dynamic support that shoes and smooth floors often suppress. Evidence from the Journal of Geriatric Physical Therapy in 2020 confirms what many elders sensed intuitively. Targeted foot exercises improve postural control and reduce fall incidence in adults over 65. In clinical trials, participants who practiced simple routines, like toe grabs and balance stands, showed measurable gains in single-leg stability and quicker reaction times to sudden shifts. Harvard Health's 2002 review found that when foot and ankle training is combined with broader balance work, the risk of serious falls and fractures drops by as much as 40%. While the major reduction comes from multi-component routines, foot-specific exercises are the foundation. Without them, the chain of stability is never complete. Inside every barefoot march or towel scrunch lies a cascade of signals and muscle contractions, quietly retraining the body's base to respond, adapt, and steady itself. The science now validates what daily life once demanded. Balance truly begins at the base. In nursing homes where foot strength routines became part of daily care, the numbers tell a quiet success story. Incident logs tracked a 30 to 50% drop in recorded falls over just 6 months, with residents reporting steadier walking and fewer moments of fear. In one facility, a coordinator named Mrs. Harris began each morning with a group session: 10 towel scrunches, a handful of heel raises, and a slow march across the carpet. Within weeks, residents who once hesitated at doorways began moving more freely, their confidence returning step by step. Clinical audits found that toe strength, measured with a simple dynamometer, rose by an average of 35% in participants who kept up the routine for 6 weeks. For many, the difference showed up not just in numbers, but in daily life: less shuffling, quicker recoveries from a stumble, and the return of small joys like tending a garden or walking to the mailbox. The blueprint is simple: 1 minute of toe scrunches and 10 heel raises to start the day, balance practice while brushing teeth, and a few ankle circles before bed. Safety always comes first. Each movement performed near a sturdy chair or countertop, with shoes on if sensation is reduced or bones are fragile. The routine asks for consistency, not heroics. Even 5 minutes a day, done with care, can restore power to the foot's foundation and cut the risk of a serious fall. For those who worry about doing too much, the rule is clear: start slow, stop at discomfort, and let progress build quietly, one steady step at a time. Falls remain the leading cause of injury for adults over 65, yet research from the Journal of Geriatric Physical Therapy shows targeted foot exercises can reduce fall rates by up to 30%. Historical records confirm that daily barefoot movement and balance drills were once routine, giving past generations natural resilience. Today, most older adults spend over 75% of waking hours in cushioned shoes or seated, contributing to muscle loss and unstable footing. While studies highlight improved strength and balance from simple routines, no long-term data yet proves these exercises alone prevent all fractures or eliminate risk. The evidence is clear. Building foot strength through daily practice restores a skill once shaped by everyday life. What remains uncertain is how quickly modern habits can be changed at scale. But the lessons from history and science align. Maintaining steady feet is both possible and practical at any age. Thank you for watching and spending a little time with us today. If you enjoyed this journey back to the simple, timeless ways to stay strong and feel young, give this video a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. We've got more inspiring stories and documentaries coming soon, right here on Seniors Retro Vitality, where yesterday's wisdom builds a healthier tomorrow.